Hey guys, so today with the coronavirus and not being able to do any client's hair, I'm actually gonna go down and do my own hair. But first, there's two things that I wanna just get out of the way. One is this, okay? I know I'm not the only one looking like a hot mess. And the second one is this, okay? We've all gained about 10 pounds at this point. I don't wanna talk about it. I just wanna acknowledge it and get it out of the way. Yeah, my butt is looking a little fluffy right now, but what are you gonna do? Okay, those Pop-Tarts are looking extra good while you're stuck at home for 2 weeks at a time. All right, so right now we're going to head to Starbucks, grab something to drink and maybe a little breakfast. And then we're going to head to the salon and take care of this hot mess. So since it's just me here at the salon, I thought I'd show you guys the salon. So let me turn you around. So I work in Mount Vernon, Washington at a salon called the Cottage Salon, and it actually used to be a teeny little cottage, but then they expanded and now we're still the Cottage, but we're just not in a cottage space. So we have quite a few stations. Not all of them are filled, but if everybody was here like at the same time, we would probably just have like 1 or 2 stations open. But we do have some people that just work like maybe 1 day a week or 2 days a week or whatever. So I'm the only full-time stylist right now. Okay, so I am at the salon right now and I decided that I'm gonna color my own hair because for one, I need it, and for two, I need content to put on my YouTube channel and we're not taking clients right now. So I decided that I would do my own hair. And so I am going to be using, do I have bleach? Oh God, okay, hold on. Okay, so I'm going to be using my favorite lightener, which is the Schwarzkopf lightener, and I'm only gonna be using 20 volume with it. And I never really go over 20 volume, and honestly, it's probably less than 20 because I always water it down a little. So we're going to mix with that right now. Okay, I just want to say that somebody had left a comment and said that I know that my video is like up and down versus side to side. And anytime I try changing it to where my stand holds the camera sideways, it falls. I can't get it to like stay this way, so I'm going to have to look into finding a better stand or camera or something. Right now I just use my iPhone, so if you guys have any suggestions on how to better film, then I'm open to suggestion. Right now the weight of my phone just constantly causes the stand to like fall forward. So if there's any way that you guys have any idea or can recommend anything to like better record for you guys, then please honestly like let me know, because I don't like the way that my videos come out with like, you know, it's not taking up the full screen of the TV. So I understand that. So if you guys have any recommendations, then please let me know. Okay, to start out, I usually double cape in case I get anything down the back, or like, since I can't really see back there, I always put a cape on backwards and then one forward facing too, just normal. That way I cover the front of me also. So to start, we're just gonna be doing some highlights. I've always colored my own hair for like the last 20 years or so. I've had a few people do it in between. But the honest truth is just that I prefer doing it. I usually know what I like better, so I'll just do it myself. So I'm going to do my foils that I do around my hairline that I do on all my clients. Do you see those grays? God, oh, you're killing me. So we're gonna brighten up around the face a little bit of a money piece, but not too much. I'm thinking that I probably will like blend it into my roots. And then I'm also gonna foil back in this area and do probably like some backcombed weaves, because I do want it to be really soft and subtle and I want it to grow out really nicely. So That's why I'm gonna back comb it so it has more of an appearance of being a balayage versus like a typical foil. Okay, to start, let's brush out this hair. So you can see the last time I colored my hair. I usually like it really soft and subtle, not too bright and crazy, just enough to have like really soft grow out. Okay, to start, when I part my hair, I usually go off either side. So I just section as if I were going to part my hair just straight down the side because then it'll be even. So I usually go like this. Right there. And then for the back, try to get your parts as even as possible if you're going to be trying to color your own hair. So for the back, I usually try to find where either side of my parting ends right in here. So let me try to get that a little bit more clean. I try to go back as far as possible. And this is the first time recording this, so sorry if this is like, what the hell are you doing? What are you talking about? Okay, now that I can see how far my part goes back here, I'm just going to try and go like, I'm gonna see if I can. I usually try to connect these two to try to get even parting. So I will go. All right, let's see, how does this look? Yeah, pretty good. Okay, so I'm generally pretty happy with how that parting was. So I'm going to clip the rest of my hair up and then we will start foiling. Okay, because I already have a clean parting, that section that I just took, I'm going to go through and just use that as my first parting. I usually try to hold my hand. I try to hold my hand right at the top of the sectioning and then I'll weave right underneath that. That way, no, I'm not grabbing any hair above. Okay, so I'm happy with how that weave looks, you guys. This is me doing my hair. I know it's not gonna be perfect, but it gets the job done. So I'm gonna start with this. I'm gonna back comb it and then we will start doing the color. But first I actually have to fix my sectioning. So I'm gonna back comb it. A few times and then we're going to take my foil. And I pushed it back as far as I could right there, and I need to adjust that to make sure it's more even, but I'm just pushing that back a little bit. Remember, I want to maintain some roots. So there's my first section, and I honestly feel like this is gonna be the worst one because I'm more concerned on showing you guys how I'm doing my hair than making sure that I can do my hair the right way. And I like brushed over on that side. So we're just going to fold my foil and then just flip it back. All right, now for our next sectioning. Okay, so I probably want like an inch subsection. So I probably want like an inch. Can I talk? Oh my God. So I probably want like an inch subsection. Okay, can I say that? Okay. So I probably want like an inch subsection. So I'm not gonna take my sections too far between. So how I do that is I just kind of feel where my last section was, and then I'm just going to slide right above it. So there it is. So then I'm just going to come in like right here. And look, that's pretty even. All right. So I want to say that I've gotten pretty good at doing my own hair. So I used to do my own hair when, do you remember like back in the early 2000s, like when it was super chunky? I used to go through and do like platinum white blonde with like super dark or like that red color, and I would do like huge chunks, and like my hair was perfect every time. There was never bleeders. It was up to the root. So like I've kind of mastered foiling in your own hair, but I just don't want to be that like precise and like have to be up on my maintenance and all that. So that's why I do more of a backcombing weave now. All right, so here's my section. I can see that I have my cowlick right there, so I'm gonna probably take a little bit more hair on that area. And I need to grab a little bit more. Okay, so now we'll backcomb again. I'm gonna be a little bit more meticulous this time because I was trying to make sure that I was getting a better shot for you guys versus making sure that I was getting everything or getting the foil where I needed it. So, I'm gonna make sure that I pack it in there really tight against my parting. So now I know that my parting is right up to where it needs to be. Try to backcomb like these little pieces right here out of the way. That way, you know, you get a better blend and you're not carrying the lightener up into these spots where you don't want it. Make sure you have good saturation, probably like 1.5 inches away from where your roots are, because we want to blend up from there. All right, so now that we're down in this area, just gonna try and blend. So I can see there that I have pretty good saturation underneath, so I'm not gonna worry about that as much. Just gonna keep trying to get it through there. And then now I'm gonna go through the ends. And then if you feel like it's gotten a little bit loose, just try and tighten it back up against your roots. And just try to feel the back of your foil line, like where you should fold it back to. Because another thing is what you don't want to do. You've probably ran bleach all the way through the end of the foil, so you don't want to fold it too far back to where now you're hitting the back of the roots with bleach, and you don't want it to be bleached there, so now you're gonna get like a spot. So just try to like hold your hand at the back of that foil section that you just did, and then fold the foil back if you're not sure like how far back to fold it. All right, this is kind of where it starts to get easier, because now I don't have to like try to feel my way or guess my way. So right now I can see that my parting is still pretty straight, looks pretty good. So I don't know that I'm gonna keep my sectioning as far apart. I just normally do that because it's in the back if I want to do like 1 inch away from each other, because it's just gonna lay on top of each other. I don't need that many foils in there. So right now we're just going, I kind of like to feel where my foils go. I don't want it to like too precise and like exactly the same subsection in between, because I want it to be like more softer and like more natural looking. So that's honestly why I like doing my hair better, because I like knowing where I want to place it, and I also don't want to be the annoying hairstylist that's like, what are you foiling right now? So I think I'm probably just going to And I can tell that that parting is really slanted and sideways and uneven. So I'm gonna go back through. And that's a lot better. Okay. Now that I'm working my way towards the top and I'm gonna care a little bit more on how my foils turn out, I'm going to do like probably like a weave and like a really thin slice back to back, because I want a little bit more of a definite brightness in there, a little bit more bolder of some streaks, but I still want it to be soft. So I'm going to do 2 foils back to back. All right, so let's back comb this one, especially really good since it's a slice. I don't want it to have too much of a line in my hair. Try to comb that hair back so it stays out. I guess the way that I like doing my sectionings also is making sure that I have even saturation up here and then work my way down to this section. I feel like since we're doing our own hair, if you try to do the whole thing at once, or you know, try to pull it back up and then apply, like it's just gonna be too hard and you'll get probably like holes of, you know, spotty lightener, whatever. So I feel like if you start with one section, work your way down, make sure you have good saturation right here now. Then we can work on lifting it up. Good saturation. All right, now we can work on this part here. And hold it underneath if you feel like you need something to like stabilize the foil. At this point, it's been probably like 40 minutes or so that my lightener's been sitting, so I'm going to go remix. Okay, since the last foil that I did was a slice, I'm gonna go through and do like a thicker weave now. Could I have 3 hands, please? Oh my God. I was wrong. This is the worst foil I've done. Whew, that was a bad one. Look at all that stuff right there. I'm so concerned about getting, like, filming it for you to see, but I am doing a bad job. Usually by this point when I'm doing my hair, I work my way to the front of the hairline because I want to make sure that I have like space between my hairline and my next foil. So at this point, I'm going to move to my hairline. And I normally don't foil right like directly up to my roots, but because we're going to be going into spring, I think I do want to be a little bit brighter. So I'm gonna go a little bit higher around my face. And I do need to be really precise on this, so I'm not gonna foil directly into the camera. So because I'm right on the hairline and I'm trying to be brighter, I'm taking a slice, but I'm back combing it and letting all those hairs fall out. I'm gonna try to push this up to the roots as far as I can. And that cushion of back comb is going to kind of help blend it really softly into the roots. I still wanna feather it up though, as far and as tight as I can. Okay, so now that I have the front foils down, I can see like how much space I have between these sections here, and I think I have enough space for like one more foiling section. So oh, my shoulders are starting to hurt now. And I know probably by the time when I go home, like my neck, my shoulders are gonna be so bad, my tailbone. The good thing is that it usually takes 2 days for it to stop bothering me. So we're not able to do hair, so at least I'll be able to let it rest for a while. Okay, now that I've done the top section, I usually go through and do like right in here. Because sometimes if I part my hair over, I don't have that much like on the sides. So I always go through, do a little section right in here. And just like a weave. And I'll just repeat that on the other side. Starbucks. Okay, now that I have basically all that I'm doing, my hair is pretty much one length right now. I don't really have a whole bunch of layering in my hair, so I'm not really concerned about getting a whole bunch of underneath. Before, when my hair was like really long, I used to go through and balayage like all underneath and do like a lot of foiling work and all that stuff, but I just don't really care right now. So I'm not gonna do like a whole section like above my ears in this area, but what I am gonna do is just go through and do the foiling like around my hairline right here, like what I usually do on all my clients. And then whatever I have as far as like leftover lightener, then I'll go through and probably like paint through some of the ends just to brighten them up a little bit. Cause I have stupid gray hair now. And I'm just going all the way up to my hairline here. I usually do it so fine that it grows out with no problem, so I'll just go all the way up. So we'll go through and check our foils. Looking pretty good. Honestly, I think that's all I'm gonna do. All right. So now we're just gonna sit and process probably like 30 minutes or so. Okay, so it's been about 30 minutes. These are getting nice and bright in the front. So let's go ahead and see what this looks pretty good. All right, there might be some little inconsistent, uneven areas where it's warmer in some spots, but we're gonna tone it down to like a level 7. So I'm not worried about how it will all blend really good when we're done. Okay, so I'm getting ready to mix my toner, and I want it to be like maybe a level 7 or 8, so not super bright or super blonde, and I do like it to be kind of warm. So I've noticed that like the more copper and orange my hair is, the better. I was gonna go through, and if I had like a 7 RO and the demi, I have like a 6R and a little bit of a darker 6, like red, but I don't want to be darker. So I think I'm going to mix my 7N. I'm gonna pour like a little bit of some 10A, not because I want it to be cool, but because I just don't have a 10N. And then I'm gonna warm it up again with some rose gold. So this is what I'm going to be using to tone my hair. So there's my little section that I have for my shampoo and everything. I have my shampoo, conditioner, Olaplex treatment, and then my toner and a few towels just set aside. So all I have to do is reach over and grab it. starting like from the back and just kind of working your way forward, at least you know that you're getting close to the roots. It makes it kind of hard with the back combing, but you can just like work it in. You know the roots are covered. Let's see as far back as we went. Go around your hairline. I honestly normally would apply this part last, but because I'm doing it at the shampoo bowl, it's kind of hard to section this little area out to keep it brighter. So I'm just gonna do it right now. Just looking through to see if I have any blonde through the back down here. I'm pretty sure I don't, but I just want to make sure that I pull it up in case I do. That way I make sure that I run the toner through it. My arms are tired. All right, I feel like my roots are pretty good. So now I just go through, make sure the ends are pretty evenly saturated. All right. Now I'm just gonna let it process for a few minutes. Also, I leave a little bit of extra toner in the bottle because I'm gonna go back through after a few minutes and make sure that everything's toning down pretty good. Make sure I'm not like forgetting any little spots. I don't want any like extra bright pieces in there because I skipped it with the toner. So I leave a little bit of the toner out. So that way if I have anything that I forgot or missed or whatever, then I can just run it through really quickly. Okay, I can see that it's starting to warm up a little bit and not be so bright. So I'll probably leave it on just a few more minutes to be safe. All right, I feel like it's probably done as much toning as it's going to do. So we're just gonna go through and rinse my hair. I'm gonna go through with the Olaplex now. I'm kind of nervous to see my hair because from what it looks like it's pretty light. And I'm afraid that it didn't tone down enough. And I don't know if that's because I let it sit for too long before I put it on my hair or I added too much 10, I'm not sure. Okay, I was kind of concerned because the ends looked really, really bright. And so I was really worried that my hair was gonna be a lot lighter than I wanted it to be. But in all honesty, I don't really care if my ends are a lot brighter as long as like up at the root and like around my face is toned down quite a bit. So let's put some product in my hair and comb it out and see how it looks. Again, I know I've talked about this a lot, but this stuff smells freaking amazing. It's the Kenra Blow Dry Mist. You guys, I literally bought like all these products because my coworker uses it. And it smells so good that every time she uses it, I'm like, what are you using? And so I had to buy some for myself. And so I know I've talked about it before, but it's just because that's how much I like it. Honestly, it smells freaking delicious. Blow dry mist, Kenra, this is what it is. Please go grab some. Make sure you get the right bottle. So I'm just using a serum to put in my hair, and we're gonna spray this delicious stuff. Okay, so I just finished blow drying my hair, and usually at this point is when I ask myself, do I want to go through and do like a shadow root just to tone down the root area a little bit? Because I am going a little bit brighter for like spring and summertime, but at the same time, I don't want it to be so bright like at the roots. So I can tell because this sat on longer that it got a little bit brighter, and usually when the hair is a little bit blonder, sometimes it doesn't, like, if it's a little bit more porous, then sometimes it doesn't tone down as nicely. So like you can see here where it's been pre-lightened before, like it's not as toned down as this area. Generally, I'm pretty happy with it. I just think I need to go through and like soften like this area and here. And then I don't know if I want to go through and retone this area again, just because it is still like blonder than like in here. And I don't know if that's because when I was toning like that I missed it, but I'm pretty sure that I was like grabbing all my hair and checking to see if I had any blonde spots that I didn't grab. I honestly just think that this got a lot brighter than the rest and just didn't tone down as much as the other areas. So I'm gonna go through and apply a root shadow, and then I'll probably go through and just tone down. I don't think I'm gonna add any 10 this time to try to tone down like these extra blonde areas. But I am happy with like the foil pattern and how everything looks. It's nice and bright, just like softly at the front. I have some like brighter pieces throughout, and then like my hairline blends really good. So it's just mostly like these pieces where I did like a slice where I think I want to tone down a little bit more. These are some slices up here. They were just super fine. But this is where it was a slice and a weave almost like back to back. So I want to tone down those areas. So I'm going to go mix for that. Okay, so for the root area, I'm just gonna go through with some 6N. So generally I'm happy with all of this. It's just kind of these harsher spots back there. So I'm going to just kind of section like this because I don't want to darken this down at all. So I'm gonna make sure that this stays away and not to get this area. And I know that this is gonna soften up, so I really don't care if this like grabs a little bit darker. So I'm keeping it a little bit higher up in this area, and then I'm just kind of dropping it, trying to like, you know, scrub it down a little bit further down towards the back. And that will kind of create more of a natural like halo drop where it darkens up through the back and like down a little bit further, and then brightens up more a little bit towards the front of the face. Oh yeah, that looks good. And then when I go through, I'm not gonna take my phone or my camera over there and record, but I'm going to just wet my hair a little bit and then kind of like massage it through the ends a little bit more. That way, if there's any pieces that like it didn't get, or you know how it can get like spotty sometimes. So I'm just gonna like massage it through the rest of my hair so it will kind of softly like tone down and gradually like go from my roots like to the mid shaft. And then I'm gonna go through and remix probably just honestly like some level 7. And actually, I don't even know if I will. I might just wash my hair and like run this through the ends to like tone these pieces down a little bit more. I'm really undecided, but I will let you guys know what I ended up doing when I'm done. Okay, so I just got done washing my hair for the second time, and what I actually ended up doing for toning for the lighter pieces was, remember how I had kept a little bit of the toner for the first time? Well, I probably have like a 1/4 ounce left of that, and then I just added like some 7N and just shook it up. So that's what I ended up doing for the lighter pieces. And I can already tell that I like the color a lot more. The 6N really toned it down. The blonde is not so apparent, but I still have some of those brighter pieces down through the ends. So I can definitely tell that I'm gonna be a lot happier with this now. Hey guys, so I just finished with my hair. I still have the cape on. I just styled it, curled it. I'm so much happier with it. I'm so glad I went back through and did that 6N. It did darken it up a little bit more than I wanted it to, but I'd rather have it darker and lighten up versus being like how blonde it was. It was way too light. So let me just go through and kind of show you. Not really sure what you guys can see. So you can see I still have some of those nice, really bright pieces. It's toned down a lot much more. Like in that area, it's a lot brighter up around my face. I still have some really, you know, some blonde pieces kind of going through. Blends pretty good through like the back area. So much more toned down. The ends are still a little bit brighter, but they're not just like stark white blonde how they were. Anyways, so if you guys are wondering, in the fall, like this kind of copper red tone, in the fall I tend to go a little bit warmer, and so that's what that color is. It's a leftover red from the fall. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you liked this video. I don't know if you like these kinds of videos. I'm sure it probably dragged on a lot longer than what you were wanting to. I just want to show you a little bit closer here. So you can see like up around my hairline, I took it right up to the root, but it's still super blended. Like when I kind of brush my hair back, you can see the color a little bit more, but it's not like, it's gonna grow out nice and soft. Same with in this area too. You can kind of see where those highlights are, just how nice and soft it is. Just 3 weaves this way back, you know, not back to back, but little slices in between. And then just that one little foil that I did kind of in this area too. So, I mean, depending on where I part my hair too, it might look a little bit brighter if I part it further over on the side. But anyways, yeah. Another thing is, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to like trends in like hair color and stuff, but like the really chunky blonde is kind of coming back in style. And I think one way that you can really do that, but like modernize it a little bit, is to do 2 backcombed weaves back to back, and then go through when you're toning and do like a shadow root, either just like, depending on how much of a blend they want, like just tap the roots or kind of blend it down a little bit and then tone and brighten the ends. that's gonna give you like some of those bigger pieces that are through the hair if somebody wants like a lot of dimension, but it's not gonna be like super strappy like right up to the root, and they're not gonna have like harsher grow out. Like in my hair, you can kind of see like right here how it would, if I just did like streaks or chunks, this whole piece would be blonde. But because I backcombed it and blended it, it's nice and bright in that front area, but it's blended pretty good. And then I have this darker piece kind of going through, and then some like brighter pieces in here. So I feel like if you have clients that want the chunkier old school highlights, but they don't want it to be like, you know, early 2000s like Kelly Clarkson hair, I really think that this is a good way to go through and do it to give them that dimensional, like kind of bolder color, but just to have it softened a little bit more, so that way it's easier to grow out. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I know this was kind of a process. I wasn't expecting to have to go back through and do a shadow root, but that's just how hair is. You never know how it's gonna take or how it's gonna turn out. You know, exactly, you can have an idea. But in my case, it was just a little bit too bright, so I'm glad I went back through and toned it down. And it's just gonna softly lighten up over time. So yeah, thank you guys again so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.